Oh boy, today's gonna be a fun day. We're gonna have to get the fence up, stop the predators coming in. We're gonna try to get a half of it done, and then the other half some other day. We gotta get the one that's going down first. We're gonna be using thick post in order to make sure it doesn't shift over time. We better get going before it gets too hot. I'm already sweating. Alright, we're almost done. So these posts is about 4 foot into the ground, about roughly 6 feet in a 6 feet high. These posts are about 12 to 10 inches wide. Pretty thick post. It's made marine grade. You don't have to go with this thick. You can always do like an 8 by 8 inch post. 2 to 3 feet into the ground. That's okay. I like to go deeper just in case and makes it more stable. Now, I'm using a 4-inch post for the cross beams, these nails. It's going into this horizontal brace about 3 inches in. You can use rebar or something like that. I don't like to use that. I like these because they are galvanized and it's just cleaner look. Just a little more cleaner. I don't have nothing sticking out that could hurt me if I go against it. I've been using the Jimmy, which that's amazing. It helps unravel it. And whenever you set these posts in, you want to make sure you compact it very good around it. Make sure it's level. Just go with the flow of the land. This one over here is sloping down a little bit. You don't have to worry about levelness with these usually. Just make sure it's for a 6-foot fence, 6-foot high post. You need to have it 4 foot off the ground, from the ground up 4 foot or 4.5. Whenever you do corner posts, you have to do an inch apart so they don't hit. So one at 4 foot, and then do another one an inch up, and that should be okay. Now, how to do these kind of bracing for the wire. There's so many ways of you can do it. I like this way a lot better, safer for animals. What you do, I use double barbed. It doesn't pull out easy. It sticks in there a little more better. We are going to have it go down. Since the fence is pointing this way, what we're going to do, a brace pin. You put one right next to it, a couple inches over. Now I'm a little bit in an awkward position. Yeah, at least one bob in there. You can easily just do one nail. That should be okay. But I like to sleep at night. I put a second one right next to the other side. All the way through until you get hit that first barbed. Leave a little bit sticking out. Like that. There's a little bit sticking out. Alright. What we do next is we're going to go down to that post 1 inch up from the ground. Same thing. Just one. Horizontal braces are spaced 6 foot apart. It's better to have it 6 foot apart going long ways. That gives it more leverage to keep everything in place, and it makes it a little more stronger. Now after we get those in place, you just grab your jimmy, a piece of wire, wherever it's at, easily slip it through. The wire I'm using is 12 gauge, high tensile brace wire. Now I'm going to use this for electric fence too. This stuff is pretty good. It's galvanized, high tensile. It's 20,000 pound tensile first, I think. Now if the jimmy actually spins properly. Now you just bring this down, just down here. You're not going to slip it through, but we're going to temporarily put it there so we can get some more slack. Working with 12 gauge wire, that's not fun. There's 9 gauge brace wire. Now we're going to do 2 wraps on this to make it nice and strong. Now whenever you get to this point, give yourself some slack. Give some extra room. I usually like to do about a little bit of foot. Okay. Now that's done. You want to secure your wire so it doesn't unspool. Now there's many types of doing this. You can twist it with a piece of wood, just pretty much twist it, or you can use a gripper. Now the type I'm gonna use is called a ratchet. I like these better, a little more safer for the animals. Gripper is also safe for animals. First thing you're gonna have to do, I've learned, put a hook on it. That's what it looks like. 2 holes. That's what's gonna feed it. We're gonna put it through like that. Now it's gonna have to have a bend in it. For that, it's gonna simply, hopefully, I am positive that piece of plier would be better than this. Reason you want to use brace wire, it keeps it from pulling, any post from pulling with the tension. It also makes it stronger. So you want to make sure it's not twisted. Make sure it's in there. There we go. Now once you do that, grab the other side. Pop it in. Oh, we almost forgot one thing. 12 gauge splice. Just pop those on. You put 2 on between for the weight and the pressure. A lot more better. A lot more safer. Now you just want to hand tighten. High tighten this. Once you make that little loop, you just double check your work. Make sure you got everything correct. Nothing's twisted, nothing's on top of each other. You take your crimp, you feed it in for the hole, take it down. It's gonna do one at a time. Technically this should be on top, but we can easily work around like this. Now another one, I'll just use my finger, about that much. Roughly, it's roughly like 2 or 3 inches about there. Crimp. Now they do sell dedicated crimpers for these. Now you can look at it and you know when it's done, when it's crimped. No way you can do it. Make sure it's done. Take an end of this. Now you can actually break it if you use this technique. You only want that once. Now once this is done, you're left with a tail. What you're gonna do with this tail, make sure it's nice and straight. You're gonna bend it up. And make tight, try and make tight, now you can use your fence tool to help. 12 gauge is a pain in the butt, that's why I use crimpers instead. So much easier, you don't have to fight it. No, I just put a tiny bit on there. Just like that. That's what, like a little fish hook going over, so make sure everything is nice. Crescent wrench will do the trick. Now once you get just a tiny bit tight, you go back over and you look. Make sure everything is not overlapping. If you have a wire overlap itself, it's going to cause issues down the road, or even potentially now. Everything looks good. Another thing is, it looks tight, right? Well, you're going to grab a hold of this, and you do not be afraid to pull. There's already a wrap on it. So nice tug. I already felt a lot, tighten all these wires up. He does that a couple of times, and it's already loose already. Now we're gonna get that back on there. We are gonna try one more click. That's it. Make sure. Now you don't want to get this too tight because winter will make it tighter. You want to make sure everything is nice and tight. One more click. I might be able to get on it. No, I can't. A lot of people will put this together with force and then tie it so it looks like a figure 8. I'm not gonna do that because this is okay. I'll put hog rings on this so they don't get the foot stuck in here. I found these. The gripper of this is very good. It's very easy to get it nice and tight. And this is adjustable, so I like these a lot better. This is what it looks like. Nothing's overlapping, which is very good. Nice and clean looking. The nails, you can easily... Now you do want to make sure you have 2 wraps on each side. Strength. We're actually gonna put this in a little more. Not all the way, you want to have it still move. I just did a little more and get those 2 other bobs in there so this does not pop out. This is what I mean, you don't want... It's overlapping, so the way I fix it, I can just take a screwdriver. A lot of times you have to untension it. But sometimes you get lucky with a flathead. You just gotta be very careful. I got in between the wire, hopefully. And then we're gonna tension it up again. There we go. That's how we fix it. Nice and flush, okay. Alright, we can get into the sketchy part. There's a bunch of tools you can do this. You can do a chain link stretcher, but that's gonna ruin this. And I got about 10 feet I need to bring back up here. A lot of people have been using like wood to make a sandwich, just pretty much sandwich them together like this. Well, there's an actual stretcher for these woven wires, but I like to make my own a lot stronger. 1/4 inch steel. Now what we do is we're gonna take it back here, get that one in position, and this one in position. Just take your time. There's no rush. Even though my goats can escape right now, but eh. The way you know your fence is stretched, sometimes I keep going until the come along cannot go no more, or whenever it bounces back very quickly. This is not really tight, but there is a little more tighter. So the way I want this down here a little more tighter. So the way you do it, take your hammer, put it on there, simply do that. Now I like to do all of it going straight down, and this tightens it up a little more. Now that made it so much better. Now typically with stretching, it usually the fence will come up by itself. Sometimes it depends. This one somewhat did it. It didn't really go all the way, but it's okay. Just simply do this. If there's a spot where you want it a little more tighter than you want, you just do that method. It gets a little more tighter for you. We gotta connect the wire to the T-post. You want to make sure you have these ribs right here facing you, facing the fence. You don't want to have this backwards, because then you won't have your clips put on. What we're gonna do, it's gonna go like this. Back of the T-post gonna sit here. That's the front. That one that has a little tail going down, hook it in. Now there's a spot right here, a little dip. You just simply, if I can get my foot up in there, step on it. If my boot, okay. Simply step on it. This little one down. Go right behind the T-post. Alright, once you get here, you're gonna grab. There's many ways of doing this. There's tools out there that can do it better. There's like lineman pliers. I do it with anything I got my hands on. Pliers, simply pinch it, pinch this side. Just later. We're at the end, finally. Once you final stretch for this a little bit here, you wrap it around, and a lot of people would just cut it right on the other side, and you can get cut. It's just irritating. I don't need no more cuts, so you just come around and you calculate. Let's cut it here. All right, let's start cutting. He's gonna cut right in the middle, about there. Nice good bolt cutters. Make this quick work. Oh, it's almost a finish line. Now, over here, we're just gonna cut the knuckle off, pretty much the knot. You cut the knot off, and then the one that's going down will just come right off easily enough. Alright. So, finally got this all drilled and ready to go. With gates, there's a special way of doing it. Yeah. So, whenever you deal with animals, you don't want to have both of them sticking up. Only reason you don't want that because they can easily pop up. Have it go straight down. Like that. So it's impossible for them to pop it out of place. Watch out, pumpkin. Now, simply, you start with the bottom. Put the bottom on. Unloosen this. You usually keep going until it wants to fall. Like that. And then this right in there. To tap it. Give enough room on top to move around. We're just gonna get this on. So it comes with a couple things. This is a what you called? It helps with just getting so it doesn't move much, pretty much. It comes with a bolt. Stick a bolt in there first. A reducer, that's what it is. Put your nut on. You don't really have to use like washers with these. And actually, whenever you buy these heavy duty latches, they don't come with lags. So just give you a heads up, they do not come with it. I used a 3/8 by 1.5 inch. Galvanized. Yeah, there's other colors you can easily use, like grade 8 to match the color. Alright, there you go. Yep, that's gonna hold. We are just gonna tighten this up. What you do with the extra chain, you can keep it here or just cut it off. It's up to you. I like to keep it on just in case.